Welcome, guys, to another episode of Nick's Picks. As always, we're going to cover some pretty decent investments in the city of Chicago and the suburbs. Today, I have a couple of. I have a private listing for you. I have a new listing, and then I also have a price change, price drop, as well. Like that's how you want to call it. One of them is a little bit of uncertain, but it's definitely worth checking out. The other one is a pretty good pick for first-time home buyers, and one of them is a really good investment. But first of all, as always, we're going to start with the update on the interest rates. Interest rates this week mortgage rates this week are stay pretty stable. Like for first-time home buyers, they're in high sixes. Right now, probably around 6.75, 6.8, 6.85. It depends on the lender. Of course, this is going to be, mortgage rates vary pretty much every day. They change literally every day, like a few times a day even. But yeah, from last data that we got from Stonehaven, Bill and Kyle, those are the mortgage rates. When it comes to investments, usually always count at least 1% higher. We talk about it almost every day, but I just don't want you to forget that when you do your underwriting and run your own numbers. If you see something that you like. Topic of the day, what we're also going to talk is how to rent your place. What is the easiest way to actually not have a vacancy, even prior to purchasing the place. So yeah, let's start with that first of all. Like, what are the ways that you can rent your place? Well, the very first thing that you can do is put on social media. Like Facebook Marketplace is always a pretty decent platform that you can get a lot of potential renters. Is it easy to rent your place yourself? I mean, it really depends how much money you're asking. Like if you're looking at a place, for example, let's say Portage Park, 1 bedroom for like $1,200, sure, it's going to be pretty easy to rent that out. But then you do also have to write your own lease, screen your own tenant, etc. This is a hustle that I don't know if you want to go through. Another easy way is to give it to a company and basically sign the exclusive agreement with them that they're the only people. That company is the only entity that has the right to rent your place. But they'll save you a lot of time and money. So first of all, if you rent your own place, you do have to show it yourself, right? You have to show up every time. And basically, you can do an open house. Of course, this is not the end of the world. But if you give it to a company, just give them a key or leave a lockbox there, and they do everything for you. They screen the tenants, they write the lease, so it definitely saves you a lot of time. The only thing is that, like I said, the key word here is sign an exclusive agreement with them, meaning that they're the only company that is able to rent your place. Now, the third way to do it is there are a bunch of companies that they're willing to take your listing without signing an exclusive agreement, meaning that you can give it to like 3 or 4 companies and it's a first come first serve basis, right? So whoever rents the place, that's who gets the commission. The commission usually is first month rent. You pay the broker like 1 month, your first month as a commission. That's a policy that not a lot of companies practice. Bigger companies like Fulton Grace and Ad Properties and etc., like the bigger guys, they'll usually ask you to sign an agreement because, of course, for some it depends on the unit. But again, if you give somebody a unit, they want to know that they're gonna make the money. Like if somebody's going there and spending time doing photos, etc. So yeah, the third way is basically not sign. Like give your listing to multiple rental companies. Usually the smaller guys will agree to that. That's more beneficial for the landlord because you have a lot more people showing your place. Sometimes a pain in the ass for the landlord because way too many people showing the place, somebody might lose a key, so you have to go and make another key, etc. But yeah, the best policy. I don't know which one works for every single person individually. Like some people prefer to rent their own places, which is nice. Some people don't have the time and give it to one specific company that sign the agreement, give the lockbox, give them the check, they do the lease, you just sign a lease and that's it. You have to basically do the same thing with the other companies, but then your chances of somebody renting the place multiplies because there's more listing agents showing it on a daily basis. And of course, if it's priced well, that's another benefit of you actually giving it to rental company, because they can run your comps and they can show you, they can tell you realistically how much you can get for a place. Because newer landlords have the tendency of overprice their properties. I'm not saying they're not renting, but it might stay on the market for a couple of months. So think about it that way. If you price your property for $2,000 or $2,200 and the rent is only $2,000, and you sit on a market for 6 months or 5 months, like, you basically lost so much money that at this point it's irrelevant how much you're going to rent it. You just want to cut your loss and just rent it for something. So listing agents and companies like this, they have a job, like, you know, that's their job basically. So I would suggest listen to them. Yeah, that's basically it. Nothing, it's not a rocket science. Just make sure that you sign agreements and make sure you protect yourself when it comes to the tenants, because a lot of listing agents will try to make a quick buck. They'll just push a bad tenant on you. Make sure you ask for credit check, employment verification, previous landlord, all that kind of stuff, so you make sure you don't put a shitty tenant in your property, right? Moving on to the Knicks picks, the actual Knicks picks this week. First, we're gonna start with, I'm gonna go through them pretty quick. All the information is in the daily newsletter that you can sign up for, and you receive it like literally on a daily basis, like probably in the morning, like early morning or early morning to early afternoon. So I am going to give you the very quick breakdown of these places. The very first one is 1505 Sutter Drive in Hanover Park. It's a little bit overpriced in my opinion, but the good thing about it is this place is actually in a pretty good renovated state. So that place is it's pretty new condition. I mean, supposedly brand new renovated. You know, you can see the floors. I mean, I can't tell if that's actually a good renovation only from photos, but I mean, it looks new. You know, decent countertop, decent cabinets, new appliance, new stainless steel appliances. They botched the bed a little bit. They opted to go with that full piece of plastic that you just slap on the bathtub, which is a cheaper option. In general, it's than tile, because tile takes a lot more time, a lot more labor, and it's more expensive. For this one, you literally just slap it on the wall, you glue it up, and you're good to go. Maybe you have to change it once every like 3, 4, 5 years, but that piece of plastic right here is gonna cost you like $1,000. So this is definitely way cheaper option than tile. It looks good. Decent floors, like decent bathroom renovation. The carpet looks new, even if it's not new, it looks clean. So yeah, that's a pretty good option for an investor here. If you go with 25% down for this property, with the current numbers and the current rates for investor for 7.75, 7.8, your monthly payment comes down to like close to $1,800, inching towards $1,800. You can easily get to $2,000 rent for this property with 25% down. If you go with well, maybe $2,100 even, because in really good condition. If you're going with 5% down or 3.5% down or whatever percent down for a first-time home buyer, you're probably looking breaking even if you move out in a couple of years, which is not bad though. I mean, it's not bad. Like you can still own a townhouse there and break even. You know, again, is this the price that you should buy it to $225? I don't think so. Like if you look at the property listing right here, they went to $235 in October. They could not sell it up until like literally a couple of days ago. They dropped the price to $225. I still think they're a little bit overpriced, but if you can get it like between $210 and $220, you're good to go for this place. It has a basement. It's not the biggest square footage, but again, it's ideal for renters and for first-time home buyers. Next property we have, I'm gonna go with this one. This is a little bit of a question mark for me, but the price looks very appealing. It's like under $200,000 for 2 and 2 in Roselle. If this property, because there's not a lot of photos here, if this property actually looks good, it comes with a garage, which is phenomenal. This can be a pretty decent investment. The only thing that we have to keep allowed, rentals only allowed to immediate family. We can figure that out, like I said, but yeah, you just have to see what the condition is. I mean, they're writing down as, you know, walnut stain, luxury vinyl plank and all that stuff, granite countertops, backsplash. If actually what they're writing here is true, this is a really good price. Unfortunately, no showings until listing is activated. We have to call the broker to see what that's gonna be. But yeah, this is something to keep an eye on. The price right now is on private. I can guarantee you can go and offer them probably like 198, and they're not gonna take it just because, like I said, they're on private. They don't have to sell right now. They're probably waiting for relocation. They're probably still getting the place ready. So yeah, if you go and lowball them, that's not gonna happen. I can tell you without even calling the broker. So don't go and do that. Just maybe call the broker and get your broker to call the listing agent and find out a little bit more information about this place. I think it's a good deal at this price, but again, you never know. Hopefully what they say is actually true. And the last property that I have for today is 540 Lodge Trail in Wheeling. This property is good for first-time home buyers, not for investors, just because there is a rental cap here and there is already a waiting list of like 7 or 8 people they're waiting to rent their properties. But you have 180,000 in Wheeling for 1,100 square feet. That's really good, actually. 2 and 1.5 bathrooms. This is awesome. Super low HOA fee. Taxes are a little bit on the high end, but again, HOA fee is only have 170. This is a phenomenal buy for a first-time home buyer, and also this was dropped from 195 to 180. Are they gonna take a lot lower than 180? Probably not. The property looks in okay condition. There's some virtual staging right here, which kind of helps you imagine with how the setup can be. You know, you can put a dining table or a breakfast nook table right here. It's decent sized living room as well. Again, this is 1,100 square feet. Do you probably need to do some renovations? Most likely. I want to say the carpet, maybe change the washer and dryer, but nothing crazy. You do have a covered parking. It's not a garage, but it's covered, which helps for winter time, which is nice. And also, actually, you have 2 spaces there. You have a tandem space. Appliances and cabinets look old, but again, it's $180,000 for 1,100 square feet townhouse in Wheeling. Schools are not the best there. It's in this specific area, but gives you an opportunity to rent it out in future if you actually get to the point that it's your turn to rent that out. It's your turn. You're the one next on the list. Definitely that's a good buy for first-time home buyer. It's just gonna be a cheap payment though, because if you want to rent a townhouse in Wheeling, probably gonna cost you in good condition. We're talking about probably gonna cost you about $2,100, right? So for this place, if you buy it with 5% down or 180,000, whatever they're asking for first-time home buyers, let's say 6.75 with a current interest rate, insurance about $70 a month, and association fees are really low, which they might increase. That's another thing that we can talk on a different podcast, on a different show. But with the PMI, you're coming to about like 1,700 for monthly payments for this place, and this is the definition of like why you should buy versus renting, specifically in this area. Like literally, you save yourself $200 a month by buying a place with 5% down with the closing cost. 5% down is $9,000, right? You can even go 3.5%, right? Let's go 3.5%. Your monthly payments increase only by $20. You're talking about $6,300 with 3.5% down, and closing costs are going to be probably about like $4,000. Like literally with $10,000 you can buy this place. I don't know if they're gonna accept the offer like with that type of terms. If they're multiple offer situation, that's a different story. But yeah, if you're the only one currently for this place, yeah, that's a really good buy. Oh, also this place has open house from I think 12 to 2 this Saturday. Definitely check it out on Zenlist or something, or yeah, but this place has an open house. This was one of the things that I want to do on a daily basis. Basically tell you like what's the best open house on the weekend. I think that's the best open house for a weekend. You should go and check it out. And of course, if the condition is good, because you don't want to screw yourself and buy something that you need to put like $50,000 in there. Again, I can't tell from photos. All right, guys, that's basically it for today. It's kind of a short show. Yeah, we'll come back next Thursday. Meanwhile, if you guys want to keep up with decent investment just like this, I do it on a daily basis. Just check my check my daily news blast. I send a daily email with like few properties here and there, and just giving you some insights on this type of market. Because I mean, by the time we actually cut this show, and by the time I post it and all that, those properties might be gone. And this happens on a daily basis, like I said. So definitely go and check out the blast. Okay, bye. Peace.